If you bought a whittling kit from me, then this tutorial is especially for you. You should have instructions, hardware, and a piece of cottonwood bark ready to carve into your own leaf pendant. Please be sure to use a sharp knife and wear a cut-proof glove if you're a beginner. Just remember that a cut-proof glove will stop a slice but not a stab. If you're pushing too hard on a really small piece like this, it could crack and go right through and jab right through the glove. Our first step with the leaf pendant is a stop cut right along the big topmost leaf, right along each edge. What I recommend is that you place it firmly on the table, hold it down with a couple of fingers out of the way, and then gently put a shallow stop cut all the way along the line of the leaf. And turn the piece, hold it down, and do the same thing on the other side of the leaf. Your stop cut is probably only about that deep. Our next step is a pull cut. We're going to pull the knife, lay down almost flat but on a slight angle, and we're going to pull it towards that stop cut very gently, and then do that over and over again until you have the look that you want. If you have this piece clamped down, you can use a push cut like this instead of working with your fingers so close to the blade. That's one of the things that makes this piece medium difficulty instead of easy. So, if you don't feel the stop cut is deep enough, gently go over it once or twice more, and then gently shave down to that line, starting at the tip of the leaf and coming down on a slight angle. You can see that one doesn't want to let go, so we redo the stop cut and boom, off it comes. Now you can see that this leaf appears to be sitting under this one. Now we already put a stop cut in along here so that we can lower this leaf. But before we do, let's do another stop cut along here so that as we're bringing this one down, it'll come away cleanly there as well. So again, secure the piece down to the table. Your blade is on the vertical, and we just follow the line with a shallow stop cut, and we can do it a couple times over just to get the depth we want. Nice clean cut. So now we have a stop cut here, and we have a stop cut all the way along the edge of here. So when we come in with a push cut, and don't worry about cutting this leaf because it's going to go even lower under this one. So we shave a little bit away up to the stop cut, and then it just lifts away. As you can see in this finished piece, you don't need to go very deep to make it look really cool. This one, in fact, comes up almost as the same level as this one. It's getting the rounded slope down into here that gives us the shadows and the look that we're after. So secure the piece, make sure you're steady. See if I can get that where you can see it. This is one way. I've got it held, and then I brace my hand on the table, and now we're going to push the blade up to here, up to the stop cut in the big leaf up top. Now you see what that did there? Really gives a nice shape. So now you can just play around with your push cuts. Bring this lower. Maybe swoop that right into that corner. Always be aware of where the tip of your blade is. And if you're pushing the blade into such a small piece like this, if you're doing your stop cut, never do your stop cut into your hand. That's really dangerous. All right, so you see how I kind of did a little angle? It's taller up here. We're going to be cutting that wood away later, so it gives the leaf a bit more of a rounded shape. All right, I'm going to do my next two, or my last two stop cuts. One right here for the edge of this leaf. And one following this line for the edge of this leaf. I bring it right there and I push a little bit. And then if I've come over, I just clean that up. The tip. Boop. Done. Right, so we know we want this to go lower than this on an angle, and I'm pushing the blade. There's another push cut. I also want to shape this leaf like this one. So I'm going to come, instead of flat, I'm going to lift the blade a little bit and sweep along one side of the leaf, gently up to that stop cut. Now, I want to put it under this leaf and this one. So I'm going to do a pull cut to get right where I want to be. I'm going to bring the tip down and tuck it right in there. Redo the stop cut. Redo, there it goes. Now before I go shaping this tip and this side, I'm going to bring these down just to see where I'm at. I know that I want this to go lower and meet this stop cut. So I'm going to, instead of laying it flat, I'm going to lift it a little bit on an angle and just hit the one side of the leaf. See how it almost slipped there? Go slow. Just take a bit at a time and try to keep your fingers below the workpiece. So if it slips, it's going to go past your fingers. Whittling small pieces like this is actually tougher than people realize. There, do you hear that little click? That should come out of there nice now. Oh, wait, still got a hanger on her. There we go. I'm going to come up the side of this leaf. This is where it gets really tricky. And go in there. Now this is when I get a good hold. Oh, the static electricity, good grief. When I get a good hold like this, I'll just keep shaving it until I get it where I want it. needs redone as well. You just keep cleaning up your edges. Take little bits at a time, very little bits at a time. Be gentle, go slow. This piece is thin enough. You don't want to be putting too much pressure. All right, here's the thing. Do you see where it comes? And it's still quite at the same level here. So I'm going to do another sweep into there. Right up to that stop cut. And you see it leaves a little bit of junk in there. So we just go in and redo the stop cut. And that comes right out. Now, the only one we have left to shape is the top one. I don't take too much off of this one. I just try to give it a little bit of that angle like we've been doing with these ones. Oh, I see a piece I missed too. If you're going along and you shaving your leaves and all of a sudden you realize the knife is trying to go deeper than you wanted, stop, turn the blade around and come at it from the opposite direction. If you don't stop at that point, it definitely will dig in and take away more than you wanted. When you've shaped all your leaves, you're ready to put the veins in the middle. This is done with small V cuts. You can also use a V tool if you have one. You can even mark these lines on with a marker or a paintbrush or a wood burning tool. To make our V cuts, I recommend giving yourself some pencil lines to follow. Now take your straight knife and very shallow and gentle push, just cut right along your line. Then turn the piece around and cut along that line again, a slightly different angle. You can see the little shavings are popping out. That should be all you get. Very shallow line. Shallow cut, turn it around, shallow cut along the same line. Tiny little piece comes out. Do you see that? And you see it gives you a nice little shadow, texturing and detail. One way and the other way. I'm going to do a little tiny one down here. I was holding it so that you could see it better, but placing it on the table and bracing it that way so that if your knife slips, your fingers aren't under it is always a great idea. A little tiny one down here. Just using the tip of the knife. Now go ahead and do that to all your leaves. This is a V tool. and it cuts those same kind of lines in one swoop instead of needing two. If you're going to carve and whittle a lot, this would be the second tool that I would recommend. Congratulations, you whittled a leaf pendant. Let's get some finish on it, and then we'll add the hardware. The hardware that comes with the kit is a jump ring and a head pin. I recommend that you cut the head pin if it's too long so that you don't split the wood. All we're going to do is insert that into there, but I like to do the finish first and then add this after. Please always remember to cap your tools. You'll preserve your edge and your fingers. Add your favorite wood sealer and watch your piece come to life.